Today, I'm trying to complete Fallout 4 Survival with 1 health. But before I begin, let's set some ground rules. I was born with glass bones and paper skin, so I can't be above 1 health. Thanks to AkihiroKytori for making the survival mode console enabler, which allows me to forcefully set my health to 1, because God forbid I try to have any fun hunt Todd.
Who's laughing now?
This, as I said 5 seconds ago, is on survival difficulty, which means I get hungry, thirsty, sleepy, I can't save, I have to walk literally everywhere, and have a lot of time in general, thanks to the load screens, to sulk in the many bad choices that have led me here. And if you end up enjoying the video, why not subscribe and like the video? And lastly, enjoy my suffering. Now with that all out of the way, I do the ultimate prank on my wife by performing facial reconstruction surgery on myself, show that I ain't no filthy commie.
Missed the World Series? Not gonna happen.
God bless America. Todd forces me to have some fatherly time with the MacGuffin, I mean plot device Sean, and then I set the worst special stats I've ever seen in my life. But the World Series has to wait, because it is nuclear Armageddon, baby. I enter my new life in the vault, chill out, watch as my wife gets shot and my boy Seth gets stolen, re-chill until I finally gain control of my character. The run can officially begin. Right into a Formula 1 reaction test, because these radroaches are quick. But I do the most patriotic thing and remind them that this is America. Once the vault was freedom all over, Once the vault was freedomed all over, I received a Pip-Boy. See, the run is still valid, and officially open the vault doors and waltz into a destroyed Boston. Can we give Bethesda a round of applause? They finally learned that gray and amber aren't the only 2 colors that exist. This whole time, I assumed Todd was colorblind.
16 times.
Shortly after gaining an extra agility point from a book, I get stuck trying to risk Codsworth to dealing with the infestation here, because the horrors of the vault would make a lesser man go insane. I say goodbye to Sanctuary Hills and travel to Concord to help the Minutemen, and by help in this sentence, I mean rob. I'm going to rob them. Because their quest chain is suffering. It has me going across the wasteland and helping people. I'm not a charity. On my way to Concord, I befriend the homie, and then do a little trick to skip that pesky Garvey. That trick does cost subscriptions though. I sneak in, oh well, you too, to hopefully not have to deal with all the So I kill every raider in the museum now. I play a hacking game. Bro, you gotta be kidding me. Ah, screw this, I'm just picking a word at random. To finally get the power core, only to shoot like Velma with a Glock just for dog meat to finish the job. Get outplayed by Twinkle Toes over here. To get a magazine and a bobblehead, both for stat increases. Oh, sorry, Preston. I have a plot to barely participate in. I'll see you later. I run away with my prize and a free minigun. But then, reality hit me like a 10-ton atomic bomb. The damage reduction didn't matter because of, well, health. With this karma for my completely justified hatred of the only man who's actually a positive force in the Commonwealth? Nah. I leave it, hoping to never see Preston Garvey or the Minutemen ever again as I head to Diamond City to start the real first quest. After having my brain broken trying to decipher what even took place here, finding some places to sleep to save my progress, getting killed by a fisherman, I can't believe I bought a gun to a fist fight and fucking lost. And I'm just taking in the scenery. Can I not get a moment for myself? I touch down at Fenway Park. See what I did there? Cause sport. But I'm not here to see no green monster. It's a fucking wall. I am here for the robot detective to help me find my plot device, but Nick Valentine isn't here. Skinny Malone and the Triggerman have locked him in Vault 114, so it's time to infiltrate. The route from Diamond City to Park Street Station wasn't that bad, just an anxiety-ridden stroll because I wasn't sure what was gonna die first, my character, my will, or my PC. But once I made it into Park Street Station, that's where the fun can begin. That was sarcasm. The Triggermen have this place on lockdown. After quietly clearing the entrance, I found a sleeping bag. But I learned one thing immediately. Trying to do this kosher was not working. There are too many of them, and my body turns out to be a magnet for bullets. But luckily, some smoke and shrapnel seemed to confuse them enough to allow me to run through safely. Don't know how that worked. Next was the classic grenade throw into sneak attack combo, which led me to the entrance of Vault 114, where I had help from a special guest. I sneak all the way through the vault where Nick Valentine was being held, but Dino was guarding him. I dealt with Dino, as in I missed literally every shot with a minigun 3 inches from his face while using VATS. And then look who decided to show up. It's everyone's favorite time. It's mash through dialogue time. Because this game, you really only get 2 choices. A yes or a sarcastic yes. We begin our escape. Only being able to hit my shots if Nick physically restrains them. I can't believe it, but we're actually gonna escape. We get caught by Skinny Malone. Or maybe they'll listen to reason. Well, we kill them. Or should I say, Nick takes the aggro while I sit in the cut corner, giving moral support in the form of bullets. We leave the vault. So I was like, is an Arduino like a slur for you guys? I'm sorry, I didn't know. I'm sorry. Look at that. We made it back to Diamond City, having made up and made out. Nick hears my tales and assumes that the Institute's own Kellogg killed my wife. Now, who is this guy with the Lucky Charms ass name, you ask? He is. It's him. But it turned into this whole wild goose chase. Getting the key from the mayor, mayor's secretary, to enter an empty house to travel halfway across Boston. No way, I just died to a deer, dude. Using random things that Kellogg managed to touch with his disgusting grubby hands. So Dogmeat could track his path, leading us to Fort Hagen. Fort Hagen was a synth town, and let me tell you, they don't like city folk. All to say it was a hellscape, but it became pretty manageable. I utilized Nick the correct way. You're doing great, bud. And take opportunities like this to mess with VATS, as all things should be. And don't worry about Nick. I healed him up when necessary. Can't let my bullet sponge get too dirty now. And if I die, I just have to do this all again. But killing these waves of synths was honestly very repetitive. While I watched the mysterious stranger straight up betray me, only one thing crossed my mind. No. The Kellogg fight. What was I gonna... Oh, the patriotic solution. Oh shit. I guess nukes don't affect these fucking electronics, huh? After a wee massacre, I pick up a crazy good revolver, put on Kellogg's armor, which feels kind of messed up, and then steal a piece of his brain, which also feels wrong, but like less wrong, and head to Good Neighbor. Get it? Because the brain piece. So I am here, and Good Neighbor is here, which means that's 30 minutes of walking, baby. How was I ever so fortunate? After getting lost a bit because the compass in this game kinda sucks ass, I finally made it into the town. I get rudely interrupted as I try to create more scarcity, and I think in the process of me creating that scarcity, the game got confused and killed Nick for my actions, which was actually kind of base as hell. But then Nick got his revenge because, Nick, what the hell happened? Why are there super mutants in here? I take Frosted Flakes' brain bit to Dr. Amari, and the rest does not really matter. Long story short, we need to figure out a way into the Institute, because they have my character motivation chain, and the only person who may know what to do is Dr. Virgil. But there's a small problem. He's on the far corner of the glowing sea, in a radiated wasteland, which means that I have to travel all the way across it, which raises a lot of issues. The most prominent is, because hunger affects endurance, it can move me into negative health. That, and radiation affecting max HP in this game, causes coming into contact with any radiation source to kill me. Even food, radaway, or a doctor that I spend 40 caps to heal me, kills me. Now that is the freest healthcare I can think of. Luckily, cooking exists. I made a bangin' dog meat jerky. It's made of dog, not dog meat, and began to travel into the irradiated wastes. This fucking part was the worst. Not only did I die in every imaginable way, I also had to listen to Virgin spiel like 100 times. This is kind of how it would go. I would listen to Virgil, die on my way to see Virgil, would listen to Virgil and die. This one though, this one hurts a lot. And I shit you not, it was 10 hours of trial and error, error and trial to one attempt. One attempt. I managed to make it out. And I did it. Barely alive. But I did it. On my way back to Diamond City to rest, I see such an amazing battle before me. So amazing that I almost forgot the whole conversation I had with Virgil. So the skinny is that I need to find a courser to get its courser chip for some shit. I'm not gonna lie, I was listening to Cookie Monster ASMR most of that time. But I think I got enough information to figure out what to do. Thankfully, I found the courser. The only problem is that he's in Green Tech Genetics, which, fun fact, is a gunner hideout. Which means that I die on sight. And Todd Howard decides to punish my hubris with 12 minutes of load screens. And this is your next gen update, Todd? Come on. Let's be real. The first couple floors were manageable, mostly just boiled down to whether or not Nick was feeling like getting shot at, which he rarely was. Yo, that's crazy. I died in ways I didn't even know was possible. Even Nick surprised me. Nick, don't do it to him like that. Especially when he picks up a rocket launcher, which, one, I don't know where he got that from, and two, I do not trust it with him. But bit by bit, we begin to slowly creep up to the last of the gunners. We even made it to the final part of the building, the top floor, where the cursor was running amok. Oh no, this isn't like Fruit Loops now. This is an actual boss fight. Nick can't stand a chance, and he literally is an aimbot. What am I gonna do? Luckily, I noticed something. He didn't aggro me immediately. He wants to engage in this thing called civil conversation, which means that he has to physically walk to me. Joke's on him though, I hate small talk. After I get the elevator and the big door to work, thanks to Nick's hacker manning it, I set a bit of a trap for him. Plan 1 was to place a little path of mines. His AI would get aggroed and then kaboom all the way until death. But you know what? I actually hated that idea anyway. Plan 2 had legs. Path bad, pile good. Oh, hey. But I didn't. Plan 3 was just plan 2, but Nick and I moved away. And then I would rocket the mines for more explosive damage, and then we win. Okay, Nick, give me the rocket launcher, please, 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 please. I hate you. Plan 4 was just plan 3. Just Nick gave me the rocket launcher before. Okay, time to fire. Okay, wow. And look at that. We get the courser chip. Dr. Amari, who at this point is probably tired of my shit, sends me to find the Railroad, a secret underground organization that helps runaway synths. Now, the game wants you to do this whole elaborate puzzle, traveling through the Freedom Trail to find where the Railroad's hideout is. But if you know where to go, you can just skip all that bullshit and travel to North End Church. Unfortunately, you have to enter a password. Luckily, their password is just Railroad, which is fucking insane. You're a secret underground faction and your password is your fucking name? Todd, buddy, pal, guy. What are we doing here? I hand the chip to Tinker Tom, leave, and come back, and eventually he finishes doing the nasty things he was doing in that chip. Now, I have to trek back to Virgil, which sucks. There's gotta be an easier way. I think it's down here, and yes, perfect. Let's do this. The hazmat suit really helps, as it greatly nullifies the radiation damage, but this was more of the same, dying over and over to a net ramming into me. So let's just skip to Virgil. He gives me a proposition that I blindly agree to, having no intention of holding my end of the bargain, and trek back through the glowing sea yet again. After touching down on non-radiated land, can finally start to build the teleporter. But now the game is giving me a choice to side with the faction. I can either side with the Brotherhood of Steel, who I haven't seen yet. I don't know if they're here. The Minutemen, which are a big L, or the Railroad. We already helped that once, so I trekked back to North End Church, praying that it would be easy, but no. Des over here wants me to do a quest for her. For the love of God, can't someone just do things for me without asking for things in return? I had to help Deacon find the prototype for the doctor in their old HQ. But on their way to their old HQ, Deacon decides it would be fun to instant transmission under the highway to fight a losing battle against mutts. So I had to go to save him to continue the quest by talking to this schmuck over here about the HQ. It seems that it's overrun with synths. I get an option whether to do the main door or the back door. I decide the back door because I will die if I don't. It's more of the same song and dance. I die a couple times just to let the synths feel like they're contributing something to the Institute, and let Deacon deal with everything else while I sit back and take pot shots. After picking up the prototype, I witnessed the work of Todd Howard's evil twin brother who adds bugs into his game when he sleeps. If that's true, it seems like he's basically always asleep. But after dealing with all the Commodore 64s in the building, I complete our mission and have to head back to the church. I met some suspicious characters on the bridge and give the doctor his prototype thing back. Now I can finally start building the teleporter. The only issue is I need a place. These bozos want me to hit the Mercer safe house. Fuck that. I had a better place in mind. Home sweet home. Now that I have a nice place to work, I need to build 4 parts of the teleporter. The reflector platform, beam emitter, control console, and relay dish. And, nothing can be easy, can it? Time to look for materials. Yay. I had to travel to the wetlands by West Roxbury to get... Holy shit, is that a behemoth? All for this toy rocket. Then stop at Milton's General Hospital, all for an aluminum can, so I can build the platform. On my way back to tell Tinker Tom that the platform is ready, I see Nick's godlike aim on display. Back with the railroad, Tom hands me more schematics, which means that I get the pleasure of shopping for more supplies. Woohoo! Back at Milton's General, I murder Nick's cousin and obtain the bioscanner. Back at base, I build the console command. Oh, hey Des. Then, I steal a military-grade circuit board by stealth-boarding into the checkpoint and then just walk out. And cleaning up around the lot, I have all the necessary ingredients to make the teleporter. Now, I can get into the Institute to find my son Steven, I want to say? The Institute immediately seemed sterile. As I took the elevator down, I saw what could only be described as heaven or inside of a very, very fancy Walmart. After listening to some bozo prowl on about something, the elevator doors opened, and there he was.
Father, help me.
Now, was killing my son a dumb mistake? Yeah, it was. Siding with the railroad, or even the Institute, which was both really good options. And I was already kind of near the end, but I just couldn't bring myself to forgive Sean for what he did. I sat him down to look like he was just taking a nap in his favorite chair while getting drunk. Oh, wait, yo? Whoa. He's got fucking games on this shit? Oh, yeah. I downloaded a Trojan horse on his computer and then left. The weird part was none of the synths were aggro. I guess they couldn't stand him either. And after that, I forgot I ever had a son to begin with. Having personally exiled myself from the Institute and by extension the railroad due to no fault of my own, I had 2 choices left for the good of the Commonwealth: the Brotherhood of Steel and the Minutemen. Fine. Preston, let's get this over with. I head back to Concord where Preston is still dealing with the raiders outside. And these are the people I am putting my faith in. So I give him a hand, and by hand I mean do the whole fucking job for him until the Deathclaw shows up. Now Preston has the vantage point. Let's be honest, I would rather have Stevie Wonder take the shot because he has a better chance of hitting his target. I use the nemesis of the Deathclaw, organized religion, to banish him to the depths of hell, and it looks like my prayers are answered by Father Stranger. Unfortunately, this means I am stuck on the Minuteman's quest chain. Now I have the obligation of liberating settlements. Great. Preston also turns me into the general of the Minutemen, which is an awful idea because my first decree is your public execution, buddy. The next quest, form ranks, is a nightmare. I need at least 8 liberated settlements and to have the castle sieged by the Institute. But the question you're probably wondering is, what does the game consider a settlement? To put it simply, a settlement is a map marker that has settlers in it. The first settlement on my radar was 10 Pines Bluff, where they want me to clear a building for them. That shouldn't be too hard. This was a ludicrous act to expect from someone with a glass skeleton, so I murdered the quest giver in her sleep. Damn, Preston. They said they just don't fuck with you anymore, bro. With them dead, technically I do own that settlement. I opt in to do the Covenant questline, which had to do with the disappearance of Amelia Stockton, the daughter of one of the bigwigs at Bunker Hill. It leads me to a sewer system under Mystic Plains, which reveals a place called the Compound. In there, I get my head popped and pop some heads until I find Dr. Chambers, its leader. She wants to find undercover synths, pretending to be real people, yada yada. I say the things that progress the quest. I watch a woman die in front of me in return. Dude, I can't escape how Towards work, bro. To Covenant, real recognize real, and I gain Covenant as another settlement. Nice. At Sunshine Tidings Co-op, I kill ghouls and radroaches. At Coastal Cottage, I had the pleasure of dying to Mirelurks. Until they dealt with themselves. Next up was Outpost Zimonja, which had me go up against a boomer, and that is not in name only. Luckily, Nick still has the rocket launcher on him, and I fucking hate this game. The only way I got out of this was thanks to the stranger. After the hassle, the rest was easy. On my way back, I talked to Preston. Nick got a huge upgrade, and I, for one, finally have a tank now. Having all these settlements liberated, Preston tells me that it's time to retake the old HQ of the Minutemen, the castle, which is all the way down here. I put on power armor so me and Nick can match, but on my way, I made a huge mistake. By taking part in a firefight against some robots, I have unwillingly started the Automatron DLC, and now the Mechanist's robot will be in the mob pool. After some ridiculous traveling, I officially made it, to only find out the castle is riddled with Mirelurks. And we have Preston's college roommates helping us out. I don't know who's worse, them or Nick. With no confidence, we begin the siege. I mostly just chuck explosives, while Garvey and all the Pi Beta Beta do most of the heavy lifting. I was wondering if Todd was sleeping during all of Fallout 4's development, because what the hell is this? Since most of the Mirelurks are dead, Preston requests that we take out their offspring. Fuck. This was a miserable experience, because Nick would try his hardest to keep her busy, but once he fell, she would glance at me and then my papier-mâché heart would just rip in two. Thankfully, I had some artillery in Nick's pockets. See, Todd intended for your NPC partners to have a carrying weight limit. But if you drop something and just tell them to pick it up, they just ignore this. So I take out the missile launcher and leave him the minigun. And on our third attempt, we took down the beast. Now, back to salmon hunting. I clear out the raiders in Hangman's Alley. I do it again, but this time for back alley apparel for the Oberland Station sellers. I go to UFAC satellite station Olivia to get a locket from, guess who? Raiders. Finally, I get the notification that the castle needs my assistance. I travel throughout the innards of the fort to fight. You know what? That actually seems about right for this game. To fight Sarge, who is blocking the only access point to the weapon stockpile, which is perfect because about 5 minutes ago, the Institute started to raid the castle. This went on for a while, and I would have done my part, but nah, you see, I got like a glandular issue, so like, but nah, don't worry guys. Like Nick will be there in my stead, don't worry. He's got a new sword, it does pretty good damage, and then he has his little pea shooter. It's fine. I'll just be back here, you know, if you need anything. Some fucking way they did it. The castle was defended as we began to take our fight to the Institute themselves.
Sturgis found a way into the Institute. We can launch an attack.
This is now the final main scenario quest, to defeat the Institute. Thanks to Surge, I know that their location lies underneath the CIT ruins. You see, there's a waterway that they use to obtain their clear gold, so the plan is to sneak through that way. Using my hazmat suit and a sleeping bag at Kendall's parking as a safe spot, I dive straight into the harbor, little Boston accent there, to find the entrance. And I'm going to be frank with you here. This was the single worst part of the run, and all of that starts with Public Works maintenance, where I died a lot. You see, Nick would just phase out of existence and then would leave me dealing with most of the mobs. If the Mole Rat Queen spawns as a legendary mob, that means I am basically dead if Nick does not aggro her properly, which he never did. Then we have the whole village of ghouls who were in waist-high irradiated water. Luckily, the hazmat suit worked really well to quell some of the radiation. And I have learned that sneaking around just f***ing works for some reason. I don't know. I guess I have Garvey's eye prescription. After that, there's a branching path. I could either have Nick hack the master terminal, which I learned is a coin flip. I mean, getting him out of his damn power armor is half the battle. So if he fails the hack, we have to go the long way, dealing with 3 cents in a turret. The problem with the long way was hunger. Once I got hungry, I died of radiation. So if Nick didn't hack that terminal, it was basically a dead run. If everything went my way and Nick decides he can hack it, I kill the 2 cents through the opening in the wall and then push into the Institute where Preston and the Minutemen join the fight. Now this section was about patience. I had to let Nick and the Minutemen deal with every single enemy from here on out because again, 1 health, so I waited and waited. And that was basically all of old robotics, leading lemmings to their eventual deaths. And deaths there were, but the upside to it was that they just kind of endlessly spawn in, so in reality, this is kind of unfailable. In the bioscience lab, they added Institute scientists, which are harmless, but they cause a slight issue. You see, they are classified as an antagonist, an enemy. So, if I'm in their line of sight, I enter caution. So, unfortunately, they have to die. I send Nick out to start antagonizing the mobs, and the Minutemen actually join in, and then the wildest f***ing thing happened. F***ing what? Why? What is happening? Next up was the Institute's main room. And I would tell you what happened here, but sounds like you guys are having fun up there. After 3 minutes of hiding, it was my time to shine. Uh-oh, for whatever reason, the Institute's on lockdown, so I need to head to Father's terminal to open up everything so we can fully head into the reactor. Taking the elevator down, I was worried about what I was going to run into. I slowly walked to find, now this. This is what we call a feature. I get them nice and comfortable, and I turn off the lockdown mode. Now, it's make it or break it. Oh god, oh god, oh god, no, no. Dying here means that I am sent all the way back to Randall parking, so that means public water maintenance, get the Minutemen, listen to Preston say, so this is the Institute, huh? Mash through a dialogue, do old robotics, watch other people have fun, go for a walk, breathe air, just know somehow I'm gonna get there, and then finally make it to the place where I died. But luckily, I picked up another stealth boy from the courser. I sneak all the way into the med bay to find a f***ing bed. We're ending this now. The next room was fine. I had to fight 2 of the chunkiest synths I've ever seen in my life, get put to shame by Institute scientists, and then make it to the reactor, which leads me to one of the last issues of the run. And like always, it's f***ing radiation. This area is irradiated. The hazmat suit helps, but again, if I get hungry, this might be a soft lock. But by the graces of God, the endlessly spawning Minutemen always have a packed lunch for Daddy. But boys, let's pick this up. Come on, I got places to be. After the massacre, I plant the bomb in the reactor and then just teleport away with the Minutemen and my new robot son Simon, and then blow up the Institute. Thank you for watching. In the next video, I tackle Elden Ring, Shadow of the Earth Tree at level 1.